Hello viewers, well now it's time for another Driveclub video. Now I get lots of cuts and edits of bits and pieces from the show floor, conversations with my camera guys and everything else. This was an interesting conversation Paul Roszczynski had with who's a design director of Driveclub, had with our cameraman. Interesting to hear some of his feedback on different aspects of the game with community response, some of the ideas and stuff they're looking forward to, as well as some more details on the PlayStation Plus version. So worth having a listening to on this one, and there'll be other bits and pieces coming from E3 as well, and I'll be putting those together over the coming days. But I'll leave you now with this chat from Paul as he takes you through some Driveclub action.
This is the Hennessy Venom GT. This is absolutely insane, this car. I think it's got 1200 brake horsepower. Yeah, Hennessy, yeah. It's an American manufacturer, and I think, I don't know if it still holds a record, but at one point it was the fastest car from 0 to 200 miles an hour, and at one point I think it also had the fastest production car top speed in the world. I think 260 miles an hour, something insane. It beat the Veyron. I don't know whether that still stands now, but it's crazy. Yeah.
I sent an email, I think, just a week before E3 saying that we were all good after that.
No,
there was a good bit of ribbing about that.
we all took it in good humour. I mean, it's really funny actually. There's plenty of emails going around work, and we joined in, taking the mickey a little bit. It was all in good jest, and we like to go to forums such as NeoGAF and Romuck and see all the latest conversations, what they're saying about the game, the developers, etc. It's great to actually be able to kind of interact with your fans in that sort of way. God, I don't know what's going on.
Part of that video that came out before E3.
I'm trying to think, before E3.
Yeah, like 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I was only very briefly in that.
Very briefly.
I think I talked briefly about the car handling and the sort of experience that we're trying to offer, and a little bit about the social side of the game as well. But yeah, expect there to be plenty more of those sort of things as we build up towards launch, because it's only 6-7 months away. This holiday season, and we've got Driveclub coming out both with retail, digital download, and I don't know if you noticed yesterday at the press conference that we announced the Driveclub PlayStation Plus edition as well, which will basically mean that any PlayStation Plus member on day one can basically get a huge portion of the game for absolutely free. We call it PlayStation.
It's kind of like a beta, but not really.
Well, it's definitely not a beta, but it's more like a free-to-play sort of game, whereby all the core gameplay experience is all there. So you've got the same single player, you've got the same online multiplayer, synchronous and asynchronous challenges. You can join clubs, you can earn cash, fame, etc. We don't restrict any of that. The only thing that we limit inside the PlayStation Plus version is just the content. So you might not have all the cars, you might not have all the tracks, but they'll be there available to you to purchase if you want to. Or if you're that impressed with the PlayStation Plus version, you can buy the retail version or whatever you like. Yeah, I think what we wanted to do with Driveclub was really make sure that everyone could experience it and give it a go. Because not everyone likes driving games, but if you're a PlayStation Plus member, with all these great free games that you get, then you're more likely to try it out and give it a go. And we really hope that we can hook people in and get them involved in Driveclub. Maybe join a club and kind of play as part of a club for a long term. Because what we want to do with Driveclub once it's launched as well, it's not just going to be this sort of static game. We want to make sure that over the long term, week on week, month on month, we're offering new content, not just cars and tracks, but also new game modes and new ways to play the game. And we want to make sure that there's competitions and challenges and stuff that if you are a regular player of the game, every day there's a reason to come back. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's something that we've learned because we are all petrol heads at Evolution, and we actually run our own leagues, and we kind of create our own clubs essentially inside other people's racing games. But it's a lot of effort, and it's not very convenient either. So we've taken those experiences and made sure that we're offering something that this is, as a gamer, this is how I want to play the game. This is the sort of tools and features that I want to have in a racing game. But it's actually something that we haven't actually decided on exactly how we're going to utilise the PlayStation Eye, or whether we'll use it at all. It's something that this is actually the first experiment that we've done. We've taken photos prior to the race and then attaching that to cars. And it's something that we're going to, over the next few months, we'll look at how we can actually harness the PlayStation Eye to offer something different and unique in terms of experience. So I think it's a question of kind of watch this space with the PlayStation Eye. There's definitely plenty of things we could do with it. And we've got full replay mode as well. So you can, unfortunately not the E3 build of course, but at the end of every race, you can watch a full replay back from anyone's point of view. You can take photos from that. And that's just the in-game side of things. There's also the PlayStation 4's built-in sharing functionality. At any point you can hit that share button. The last 15 minutes of it are captured as video, and you can also post that video to YouTube. You can have people watch your news stream. There's just so many ways to kind of broadcast what you're doing inside the game and capture that amazing moment. Because there's so many times where even now when I'm developing the game in work, where there's something either amazing that just happened in terms of that was the perfect drift or the perfect overtake in between two cars, and it's like, oh, I missed that, but you got ghosted. Yeah, it's something that we're still working on right now, but essentially what we're trying to do is, if the player goes off track for too long, we reset them back to track, because
That's frustrating.
yeah,
Particularly the noobs.
yeah, because we want to make sure that obviously when you're playing online, people just can't cheat and cut corners and stuff. So we're trying to work out what are the best ways to keep people on the road but not punish them too heavily. For example, if you go off road right now, there's a 3, 2, 1 countdown that initiates, and if you're off track for more than 3 seconds, it will just plonk you back on. Like now, 3 seconds and then you're back on track. But all these sort of systems are things that, as we go through usability testing and focus testing, etc., we'll be able to refine these as we go closer to launch. So, yeah, because we've got to make sure that when you're playing online, it's a fair and fun experience. It's great when you play with your friends and you can all kind of manage that amongst yourselves. But when you play against just anybody online, obviously we try and match you against people of equal skill, equal likes, etc. We want to make sure that everyone's on a fair level at all times, but without having to resort to invisible barriers or sticky grass that stops you instantly.
Yeah, the old days then.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Nice bit. Oh,
That was,
recovered quite well then. Yeah.
so have you been at Evolution since the...
Since WRC 5. I've been there for nearly 10 years now. It's been a long journey. Trademarked for I don't know how many years now, but it's been a long time. Yeah, it's something that as a concept has been bounced around the studio for many years. And as you mentioned, the Mortstorm story, yeah, that's true. We wanted to do something that was, we were free to do something that was kind of crazy and off-road. But here, this has kind of come about from, our passion as car nuts in the studio, and the desire to work with real cars, because who doesn't want to drive these amazing things. But also we had ideas very early on about creating these clubs and playing in a very social way, and we think that the PlayStation 4 is the kind of the perfect console to bring this product to life, because it offers so much base functionality which does a lot of the work for us, and then it allows us to spend the development time and focusing on expanding upon that and creating features which, as I mentioned before, are going to allow players to play the game how they want. Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, it's one of those things. We're trying to spend as much time on actually creating rich environments as well as we are with the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're up in Scotland here. We haven't actually announced all the different locations that we're going to yet for Driveclub, but needless to say, our research team's been all around the world getting some great research done. We wanted to make sure we offered.
Have you done any research with yourself?
Well, it's unfortunately not.
Only the art team would do that. You're a
Yes,
designer, so-
exactly. As a designer, I was fortunate enough to actually drive some of these cars in real life.
Okay.
So they got to go to some amazing locations from around the world, which I would have loved to have done, but I'll take driving these cars any day. I mean, we were able to take some of these cars out on the road for like 2 whole days and thrash them around some roads actually not too dissimilar to this.
Any post shaves?
Not out on the roads actually, no. I think the worst things we had on the roads were some paint chips. When we went out on the tracks, because we had some driver tutoring as well, because we wanted to make sure that before we took these animals, these supercars on the road, that they could actually do that. So we went down to closed circuits, and we were tutored by professional race drivers, and we were taught how to drive. And there were some spins, not by me, but yeah, we were trying to make sure that.
So that's some interesting bits and pieces from Paul there. Certainly, it's very early in development, running at 30 frames. It's they're hoping it can get to 60 frames. I think it absolutely needs to get to 60 frames at the moment. I think the wow factor is 60 frames on these new formats, and I think with a direct rival in terms of Forza, it might not be a direct rival in terms of gameplay, but showcasing the system, there's a lot of weight on their shoulders. We'll have to see how this game performs in the finished product. But I look forward to seeing how far they can take it. And again, we look forward to hands-on and interviewing developers ourselves in the coming months. But I'll leave you with this bit of gameplay now. And as ever, there'll be more from me very soon.